boy, obviously you talk about Bionic, because he's my uncle's cousin, innit?
That couldn't have come from a better person, really.
The more I was getting into whatever I may have been getting into on the streets was the more I'd be like, all right, let me just allow the music.
Like, don't sell me all this stuff. I know what I like. I don't need you to shove it down my throat.
There's a lot of people that I thought were but the people that I thought were good, I'd openly say it. My mum was always like, learn your books the way you know this rap songs. You gotta really, like you said, the machine's gotta be behind you. You gotta be seen as you're like up here somewhere, yeah, and then someone, yeah, and all of that. You get what I'm saying? And nobody really cares.
What's happening, everybody? Thanks for checking in again on the 521 DocuChats. Please subscribe to the channel, click the bell to receive notifications, like, share, and get involved in the comment section below. We're going to go straight into this. I got a friend of mine who's here, and his name is Desert Eagle. Where do we want to start, bro?
That's where you want to go. So what are you saying to me?
Okay, you are the nephew of somebody that's well respected in the UK hip hop scene, a pioneer from the very early days. Do you want to talk to us about that relationship and who he is?
Oh boy, obviously you talk about Bionic, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, he as anybody might know, he done his thing out here, set some foundations. And when I was young, like, he's had an influence on my whole rap style, to be honest, you get me? Because in the earliest days, to be honest, until he was doing his thing, and my uncle who let me know that he's my uncle, because he's my uncle's cousin, innit? So once we made that connection, at that age, when I was young, I used to rap with an American accent, like, up until I was about 11, no, yeah, 11, 12, and that's when Bionic said to me that, right, what are you rapping an American accent for? You know what I'm saying? And I was like, that's the music, innit? He said, yeah, but you ain't American, innit? So it's like, you can still do your thing, but you gotta be you. Sound like you, innit? It's how we talk. To be honest, that's a nice way of me saying how he said it. You get what I'm saying? Cause if you know Bionic, you know, like, he talks anyhow he feel like talking, you get me? He was very much like, get me? Right, get me? Boom, bang. And then that helped shape my style.
That couldn't have come from a better person, really.
Nah.
Because
Yeah.
if anyone, like you said, knows, then they'll understand that pretty much, you know, London Posse is credited more than anybody for the accent thing, the realization of using your own accent.
Yeah.
Do you remember when it was and where it was when he said that to you?
If I remember right, I was in his house. I think I was in it. To be honest, I can't be 100, but I was either in, I've got it like I was in his house. I'm trying to think, or was we in the car one time? Was I in the car with him? But I think we was in his house.
And was that kind of like an epiphany moment for you?
Yeah, I guess so, because obviously it makes sense, innit? But at that age, all I knew was American rap. Until I heard London Posse's music. And I never heard his music until a late introduction to his music, you get me? So I just knew American rap. So it never came across me to rap with an English accent, just like that. You know what I mean? Like, I think a whole lot of other people from the UK was. There's very few people that was doing what Bionic was doing. In fact, I know Bionic's own style was his own thing anyway. You get what I'm saying? You know, his whole mixture with the ragga sound and the English sound, and on top of that, he talks Cockney, but then still gangster with it on some street. Like, it's all mad, isn't it? So his identity was always solid and strong. So having that as an example to lead me to do mine and be myself, do you get what I'm saying? I still kind of even had to craft my thing over the years, because I used to rap, like, nowadays, even though I still got a lot of, like, I don't know, you can hear aggression in some of the lyrics that I spit and things like that, but it used to be a lot more. And I remember over time thinking to myself, I want to tone it down. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, so, and here I am today with this type of style that I have, you get me?
did at any point you think, okay, Bionic is my uncle, maybe I should do a little bit of the ragga stuff in there as well?
Not really. Not really, because that wasn't me. Do you get what I'm saying? As much as, yeah, when we was young, you go to a party, they're playing bashment and all of that, but bashment was never really, it wasn't like my top choice of music, unless man was in the house party crabbing up a gal or something like that. Bashment wasn't really, you get me, my thing. Like, I wasn't banging bashment when I was young like that. You know what I'm saying? So it never came to me that, yeah, I should add that. Because he didn't say do it like me. He said be yourself, innit?
And I'm guessing you're still in contact?
Yeah.
Okay, so did at any point he turn around and go, right, what you're doing, I saw you from the very beginning. I saw it nurture. And yo, what you're doing, stick with it. This is it.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's funny because in the earlier stages, he was very much like, because you know when you hear my music, it's got a lot of street shit in there, innit? Because of wherever man's coming from. So one thing that he used to say to me a lot was I should actually allow that. When I was really coming up, he was like, right, it's like you're talking too much, innit? It's like, yeah, because he
I'm
knows.
laughing because I can imagine him saying that.
Yeah, he's like, you're saying too much. You get me? Because he knows me. He knows what I was up to at the same time. So it's like, why are you saying so much, but you're active? You get what I'm saying? Like, it don't make sense, innit?
Yeah, you're snitching on yourself.
Basically.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So, like I'm saying earlier, that was more his angle. And then, you know, after a while, because at the end of the day, I was doing me like he told me to, it got to a point where, yeah, definitely he was like, yeah, you get me? I think when I became a bit more, let's say when I had my moments of consistency of doing music and pushing it, that's when he was like, yeah, you're smashing it, you're smashing it, you're smashing it.
So it was just about getting that balance.
Yeah, I guess
I
so.
say enough, but don't say it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay, so probably saved you some jail time.
Boy, I mean, a lot of things saved me some jail time, you know what I'm saying? Especially the one upstairs, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to skip everything in the middle and I'm going to jump straight to what's going on today, but we'll come back to what's going on in the middle and what's happened and so on. You know, you mentioned all the stuff about how you nurtured from the artist that you were, from growing up with the American sound and then him telling you. Now, you got a single that you got coming out.
Yeah.
Right? And it's different to everything else that's going on. So let me break that down for you. I mean, you know what it is, but you lot out there, you don't know what it is. So,
Gold flowers, yeah.
right. So basically what it is everyone is so focused on this instant, like when we used to make records, we used to make records and it didn't matter how long the record was. If it made sense for you to carry on, you carried on. Now it seems like everyone's attention span, people are like literally dealing with, I don't know, 2-minute records.
Yeah.
But you've gone the opposite way. And you've done a record that's over 16 minutes long. Do you want to break that down for us? And on top of that, I just want to say as well, you didn't forget the UK.
No way.
All right.
No way. You're right, yeah. Tunes these days are like 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. When I was writing this, basically it came around from the whole 50 years of hip hop anniversary. Yeah. It came around from the whole 50 years anniversary. And it made me I just had the urge to write something to kind of pay homage to the people that I remember being young listening to and that have influenced me over the years since I've been listening to hip hop, you get what I'm saying? And it was like, because obviously also there was that 50-year celebration, it was like, I wanted to go back to literally when I first heard you get me, my Uncle Jeddy introduced me to Big Daddy Kane, you know what I'm saying? Young, Gifted and Black, that was my first introduction to hip hop and I just kind of, I had it in my mind, I had this pattern in my mind that, right, let me start there and kind of go over the people I remember. You get what I'm saying? That I've up until now. And so I didn't mean to write a 16 minutes, 15, 16 minute plus track, but with all the people that I had to mention and the things that I was saying, it was like, that's just where it ended up. You get what I'm saying? And like, because I still got that foundation, like you said, like in the earlier days, especially like real MCs, like there didn't have to be a restriction on what you was doing. You get me? And so I knew when I got to a certain point that, right, this is long, innit? But I I didn't really care because I was just getting off what I wanted to get off and mentioning the people that I wanted to mention. You get what I'm saying? Like, pay homage to the people that came before and that have paved the way. And that's why as well, like you said, I didn't even obviously like I said earlier, my earliest influences were American based, but there were also UK along the way. The UK scene was growing, and I was feeding into that more as well. And so the tune kind of went from not just only my influences, but then also people who have been influential just in hip hop in general. Do you get what I'm saying? That have contributed to the scene, contributed to the culture. And like me being someone that grew up in London at the same time, I was like, yeah, I had to throw UK in there. I even put Ghana artists in there as well. I got some Ghanaian MCs and rappers that I've mentioned in there. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm from Ghana also. You know what I'm saying? So I just felt like, yeah, it was important that, yeah, my foundation started with listening to the Americans and that, but me being someone that's UK born, you get me, Ghanaian blood, it was like, let me just combine everything because that in itself just shows how influential hip hop is, full stop. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, we all know it's a global thing, and then this is just kind of like my representation of where I'm coming from and where I'm at, and to put it all into one tune.
So explain to me how you get a 16-minute track, right? I've heard the track,
Yeah,
and the beat changes all the time.
yeah.
Now, don't take this the wrong way, but none of the beats are original beats, as in they're not your
Nah,
beats.
they're not. They're not.
They're all snippets of beats that in some way influence you.
Yeah.
So you can go from Young, Gifted, and Black to, I don't know, a London Posse track,
Yeah.
to a Moni Love track,
Yeah.
you know, to, I don't know, Mob Deep.
Yeah.
You know, it's everything.
Yeah.
That must have been a process to put together.
It was definitely a process. You know what I'm saying? It was definitely even the writing process was a process. You know what I'm saying? Like, it took days. And like I got to a certain point where I thought, yeah, I'm done. To be like, I think the first, like, I wrote 8 minutes of it first,
And then you wrote another 8 minutes on top.
basically. Basically, that's how it went. You know what I'm saying? Because after the first 8 minutes, I was like, when I was listening to it, then people were still coming to me like, right, I've mentioned such and such, but I haven't mentioned. Nah, I got more people I need to mention because I don't know, I was just in that zone.
Do you still feel you've left loads of
A
people out?
100%. 100%.
Anyone that's gonna have a problem with you?
I mean, no one can't. Who's gonna have a problem? Like, what problem is there to be had? They can go and they're gonna make your own tune in it and say who you want to say or whatever. You get me? But I definitely have left some people. Not like I purposely left people out, but when I listen to it, and I know there's certain people that I would have still liked to have added. You know what I'm saying? But when I did get to the end of that 15, 16 minutes, I definitely said to myself, that's it.
Okay.
Whoever else comes to my head has to just, that's it.
Now let's go back to something Bionic said to you
Yeah.
and put it into context with this.
All right.
You're saying too much.
I mean, how I've written it is still kind of, I'm talking about myself, but how I've done it in terms of paying homage to the people that came before, it's like, it's not about me. Do you know what I'm saying? And with the whole beat selection and changes and all of that as well, like the whole thing is kind of like, if you love hip hop, for me, it's like, if you love hip hop, you've been listening since whenever, whatever point, but you know you love hip hop, whether you were listening from the earlier days or the later days, but you love it so much that you've looked into what came before and all these type of things.
You'll recognize every beat. So
You know
what
what I'm saying?
happens? What happens if people out there don't recognize some of the beats? Are you gonna kind of look at it like you're not hip hop if you don't recognize this?
I mean, playing, you're funny, you know. I can't go as far as to say that, right, if you don't know this, then you're
But
not
some
hip hop.
people would, though. You know that.
I know some people would. You get what I'm saying? But I don't really think that's my place. There's definitely gonna be like some things that if you don't know, like then whoa,
Where you been?
yeah, you know what I'm saying, or where you really at even like. But I wouldn't. If somebody don't know certain beats or they don't know certain people that I mentioned, then at the same time, then go and find out who they are.
The production process. Who else was involved? And how difficult was it for them to kind of, because I'm guessing the way you wrote that, you couldn't have written it to every single segment of a beat
No,
change. You must have written it to a metronome or something,
yeah.
and then you had to then pick the beat process, right? So how did that work? Tell us.
I wrote it to the Young Gifted and Black beat. I recorded it to the Young Gifted and Black beat,
So
and that
all at the same tempo.
all at the same tempo. And what I really wanted to do at the time was I thought I was just gonna keep the Young Gifted and Black throughout, but kind of have like things mixed and blended in
But
when I'm
not a
saying,
flip.
but not completely change the
Right.
beat. You get what I'm saying? But as I was trying to do that, it wasn't really working. And at the time, I was in Ghana when I wrote it. E Hill was in Ghana as well at the same time.
So explain who E Hill is.
E Hill, if you don't know, that's a producer, Mazatello producer. You get me? That I've been working with for a minute now. And yeah, he happened to be in Ghana at the same time as I was writing this thing. So as I wrote it, I hit him up and I was like, "Yo, E," and it was close. It's like I said, the 50 years celebration sparked it, but I didn't start writing it till close to the end of the year.
Right.
So I was kind of trying to get it done so I could fling it out, but it just didn't go that way. But so we started with, I was like, yeah, just sprinkle this in, sprinkle that in. I want like this, that. And when he was doing it, I was like, nah, this ain't really working. So it then turned into actually, allowing the beats to breathe and mixing them and that. I wrote a list. So I wrote a list of the beats that where I'm mentioning certain things and certain artists. I picked kind of like maybe my top selection that, all right, if you're gonna do this, I'd want from out of these beats. You get me? So he went away and did that, and he also added a few of his own choice selection as well. It wasn't just like he used a lot of what I gave him, but he also done his own thing and put some beats in there. And yeah, it took a while because I was also the track has got like 50 different beats on it, and that was because it was to represent the whole 50 years. So it was like 50 different beats. But obviously, I mentioned a whole lot of different MCs, producers, and record labels and whatever else. But it took time because he would do his thing and then he'd be like, I can't get I can't get to 50. I was like, we got to get to 50, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? And it was like for him, it was a task. But so there was a bit of back and forth over it, but by the time he got through it and finished it, he fucking smashed it. You get me?
Was there ever any arguments as to that's not representing that kind of thing?
No, there definitely weren't no arguments. Like I said, the only thing was that I was adamant that I wanted 50 beats.
Was there any points where you were kind of like, oh, you know what, I ain't happy with this part, I need to change it because it needs to fit better, or
Yeah. There was definitely some of that. You get what I'm saying? There were even things, I don't know if you know, like maybe when you record, most recording artists should maybe go for it, but sometimes you record something a certain way, but by the time you've heard it back, you want to say it differently. But that's about it. You get me? And then when I finished with Ethan, Shorty Blitz got involved.
okay.
So, there's a deluxe version that Shorty Blitz has done a mix for.
Oh, so he's literally picked 50 beats himself.
Nah, but see, he was supposed to.
Okay.
But his one is, that's why, to be honest, I call it a deluxe version because I can't tell you how many beats he's got in there.
200.
Listen, he literally followed me lyrically and, you know what I mean? Almost, not, I won't maybe say every single, but a lot of who I mention, a lot of maybe the tracks I mention or the producers I mention.
He knows it all.
He just came in with it like, chop. So when that one comes, you know what I'm saying, like I said, Ethan's has got the 50 and then Shorty Blitz version has got like I said, I haven't even counted.
Imagine this. You got 60 minutes of rhyming. Imagine in every single line you mention an artist.
Yeah.
And with every single line, you take a beat from that artist. How many beats would you have then?
Yeah, boy. You'll have to listen and count and let me know, Blade.
Like, it'd probably be 700 or something.
There's a whole lot going on. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole lot going on.
At what point are you kind of like, this is it?
Boy,
I've hit the nail on the head.
I think when Ethan was working on it, yeah. When E was working on it, and maybe like at some point, in fact, before we even got up to 50 beats, like I think he had done a version where he sent back to me and we got up to maybe that was only the first couple of minutes or so, yeah, the first few minutes or whatever. And that was where he had like the changes. It was maybe like the first set of changes he had showed me when the rest wasn't done. And to be honest, I felt it from then. Because what I wanted, when I was writing it, like I said, the kind of feeling that I wanted, because when I said I wanted to sprinkle stuff in, it didn't give the feeling that I wanted to get. So that's why I knew that ain't it. But when he sent me back the mix with like, you know, enough time with the beats, for the beats to breathe and then mix them in and this, and I was like, yeah. I wasn't even like, yeah, I was bugging in my room.
So
like,
you went through a process of where you overdid it, then had to strip it back.
it was not that it was overdone. It was that, I mean, the young gifted and what I wanted to do. Like for example, it was the young gifted and black. So let's say like where, you know, if I mentioned the Fugees came in, I wanted like, you know, Ready or Not to come in, but still with like just only a little bit of it mixed into where the lyric is saying whatever it's saying, and then whoever else I might have mentioned, I wanted a little bit of what they were saying. That's kind of how I heard it when I was writing it, because I wrote it to the young gifted and black. And like I said, when we tried to sprinkle the stuff in there, it wasn't giving me what I knew I wanted to feel. You get me? And then when E done the first initial mix, yeah, like I said, it wasn't all the way through yet, but was working with the idea, and I was like, yeah, that's the thing. You get what I'm saying? Because that moved me. Like I remember I was in my room in front of the computer. Listen, I think I must have jumped up. I was like bouncing around my room and all of that because of the beats that he was using. And like I'm saying, so for me, when I wrote it anyway, it's like I definitely felt like, yeah, this is it. And then same like when it was finished, when we finally got to the 50 beats and that, you know what I mean, with the little back and forth, I was like, yeah, man.
What were you trying to achieve from this 16-minute track?
Initially, it was just to pay homage to the people that have paved the way and contributed and are still contributing. You get what I'm saying? It was like, yeah, like I said, it was in the whole, we're celebrating 50 years, we're celebrating hip hop. So it's like, look, I want to celebrate I want my pen to celebrate. I want to contribute something to the celebration. You get what I'm saying? Coming from where I'm at.
Where we live in a time where everybody is doing your 2-minute tracks and everything is so throwaway. You've done completely the opposite, like I said. Does it ever occur to you, or has it ever occurred to you, that that might be the difference that it takes for, after so many years of you being the artist that you are, that now you doing something completely the opposite of what everyone else is doing, you might actually get that attention?
Maybe. What I think that
Not that that's what you were doing, but
no, but one thing I will say is that everyone that's heard it has a mad reaction to it. Do you get
because
what
no
I'm
one's
saying?
done it.
Like everyone has a mad reaction to it. Like, you know, and I did listening. I had people listen in Ghana, here in the UK, and in America. You get what I'm saying? In New Jersey, specifically New Jersey and New York. But everyone's response has been positive. Everyone's response has been like crazy. Some people's response is like more than I even expected. You get what I'm saying? So possibly, you know what I'm saying?
But what about radio? Because I mean, do you ever feel? I mean, do you feel like radio is going to take the time to play a long track like that?
Oh, to be honest,
And
like,
what if they did?
boy, if they did, I'd be surprised. I don't know which DJ is gonna do that because I don't, you know. I mean, we still got hip hop. I'm not really. I mean, we still got hip hop DJs out there, so it's just about whether they feel it enough and they
When
feel to play it.
if we're talking about attention span though, like your beat changes every few seconds, right?
Yeah,
So that's attention span.
yeah.
So maybe they would play 16 minutes.
That's the kind of saving grace of it being that long. It's like you're not just listening to one beat repetitive for all that time. The beat changes all the way through. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, and it's always going somewhere different. And like I said, like for some people, some beats they're gonna react a lot more to, or some people gonna react in a different way to everything. A lot of people have told me like it takes them to certain places, like makes them remember certain things or certain times and all of that. You get what I'm saying? So I guess that's the importance of the beats.
Yeah. I mean, look, the way it started with Big Daddy Kane, that instantly got me.
Yeah.
Because that's one of my favorite tracks anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, and there was a reason to start with that. Do you want to give people that reason? I think we already touched on it. But
Yeah, we touched on it. I'm saying like Big Daddy Kane, yeah, was the first rapper. Young Gifted and Black was the first hip hop tune that I was introduced to hearing. You know what I'm saying? I think I was about 8 years old at the time. Yeah, my Uncle Jeddy came to my house and he played me the song. And then he taught me he taught me the lyrics. I think we literally sat there, wrote it down, and I was like reading it to the beat and rapping, and I learned that, and that was like the first lyric.
so you started rapping at 8.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't like to would say like I started rapping at 8, or maybe yeah, I was rapping because I was rapping other people's lyrics. Do you get what I'm saying? But and that was a thing, you know, like when you're young, man. Most parents were always like, when you're young, whatever music you listen to, you know the words in it at that age.
Yeah,
Pick
you
up
got
the
nothing
words,
else
you
going
learn
on.
them, yeah. Them times they're, you know, just like a lot of people's parents, my mum was always like, learn your books the way you know these rap songs. You get me? But, you know, yeah, so that's where it started, and it was Young, Gifted and Black, rough, rugged and real. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's why it actually starts and ends with that.
Can you do me a favor? Look in that camera and promote the single.
Gold Flowers, yeah, tribute to hip hop by yours truly, Desert Eagle. It's like 16 minutes of paying homage to MCs, producers, radio stations, DJs, fucking podcasts, and you know, hip hop contributors to the culture. Do you know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's what it is. Gold Flowers, man. So look out for it. You hear it. You see it anywhere or whatever. But like I said, it'll be out August the 10th, digitally. And a little while after that, we'll have some merch going on for it. You know what I mean? Some vinyl and that for the people that like the vinyls or cassette tapes and all of that, and whatever merch you want to get, T-shirts, everything. It'll all be out there. You know what I mean? Gold Flowers, yeah?
Okay, so you mentioned the Americans, and obviously you lived in the UK pretty much most of your life. So you mentioned the UK. What about all the other countries where, you know, like your Germans and
Yeah.
your Australians and
Yes, I mean, what about them? Like, I know they're out there. I just ain't. They're nobody I've grown up listening to, or
so I just wanted to put that out there so no one feels
yeah,
neglected.
nah, come on, man. Hip hop is a global thing. You get what I'm saying? So big up everyone that is part of the culture. Big up everyone that's doing what they're doing and representing hip hop, especially, you know, like that real, yeah.
And are we talking just the music, or are we talking the whole culture, the graffiti, the DJing,
The whole
the
culture,
b-boying?
the whole of it, really. You get what I'm saying? I mean, we mainly be talking about the music side. You know what I'm saying? But all of it, the graffiti, the DJs, the break dance, you get what I'm saying? Like all of it, it's all of it.
You started making music, and then you stopped and started and stopped, and this kept
Yeah,
happening throughout your head.
yeah.
What was the reasons for that?
Boy, the stop starting was because um the main reason is like, you know, if you listen to my music, you will know what the content is. And like I said if we go back to earlier, you were asking me and I was telling you, Bionic told me I'm saying too much. You get what I'm saying? And like, as I was getting older and as I started actually putting projects together, because before I was just rapping all over the place, wherever I could rap at shows and whatever else. But when I started putting projects together, and it was weird for me because I'd write a project, I'd be feeling it, I'd put it out. You get me? My first project, I think the first project I ever did was called Shells and Degrees. Did that with my brethren, big up C6. You get me? And I put it out, and then it's like when I'm listening back to it, I'll literally be listening to the things that I'm saying as if I didn't write them, and then and it'll be like, shit, I'm actually saying too much. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm saying too much. So I kind of will put something out, have that kind of all spin around in my head, and then kind of fall back from music. Like, you know what? Let me just kind of allow music and just kind of stick to what I'm doing. But at the same time, because the music is in me the way that it is, I'll always still find myself pick up a pen. You get what I'm saying? And I'll always get to a space and I'll be like, nah, fuck it, man. I'm gonna put something else together. Or I'll just be in a zone where I'm just writing it. It will just happen. I won't even be like I made a decision fully that I'm gonna do it. But I'll get into that zone of writing. Before I know it, I've put a project together. And then, so there were a couple like real, like, I think like Shells and Degrees and Illegal Money and a couple other things. Oh yeah, and there was other people that I worked with along the way. So I had a couple like, what would you call, like crew mixtapes and stuff like that. You get me? And that was at that point as well. There were definitely times where I didn't let it bother me. So there were a bit of times where I may have had a bit of consistency in doing what I was doing, especially like I said when I was working with other people. It's like things were going on, we were doing things, doing shows, moving about, doing things. But at some point, I would definitely be like, "What you doing, bro?" Especially the more I got into what I was doing. You get what I'm saying? You know, like I said, the content of my music is street shit. So the more I was getting into whatever I may have been getting into on the streets, was the more I'd be like, all right, let me just allow the music. But again, it will come full circle, and I'll be like, right, my pen will start going, and I'm doing, and then I'll get to a point where maybe I'll be like, all right, let me fall back from that instead, and let me focus on music and see how that goes. Let me, you know what I'm saying? But that was really the cause of my stop start back and forth. All right, let me do music. All right, leave the road. Nah, let me fuck music, man. Let me do the road. It's paying me. Let me do that. You get me? And then maybe something mad might happen or whatever, or things are slow or whatever on the road. You get me? It could have been any number of reasons. You get me? And then I'll be like, nah, you need to do this music thing. Or maybe enough people will be saying, fam, you need to do the music thing. You need to do the music thing. Where you know you're mad with it. Blah blah blah. And I'll be like, all right, let me just fucking give it a go.
Do you feel if you kind of kept consistently on the music, you would have been in a different place now?
I mean, I don't really dwell on it, but as you ask the question and put it, then maybe.
I'm gonna say I feel like you had the talent. If you had the team and the
Yeah,
awareness, because a lot of it is that as well.
it is
It's
that.
having people around you, people on side.
Yeah,
You know that can basically push you to radio and media and build the awareness.
yeah,
So I feel you could have done that from what
yeah.
I was hearing. All you needed, the thing was your music was raw. Yeah. So it was all about getting that balance one time where you've got one track that just connects with everybody.
Yeah,
And you're capable of doing that.
yeah. I've got them as well. Yeah, you're not wrong. I can't wrong you. I've got them. I've got some tracks which I like. You know, I definitely write music which I try to like just connect with. I've got music that is just, I don't know how to put it. It's just dealing with life, not so much that you'd have to be from the streets or whatever to really comprehend what I might be saying. It's like some real life things, like whether relationships, like, and that's whether it's like between man and woman or with your family members or with your friends, like just things that we all as people just deal with in life. Do you get what I'm saying? So, and I know I've got those type of tunes, and maybe there was a little bit of, you know, I guess, you know, when you're in a certain type of mindset and you're moving a certain type of way, sometimes you don't your mind don't go to certain places. Do you get me? But you could be right, and if I had a good team and the right people in the right places, but a lot of people could say the same.
The way the industry works and how you as an artist that's trying to build your rapport is getting knockbacks all the time. You know, you have to be consistent and eventually you meet the right person and then doors open. You never got to that stage, not because of any fault of your own.
Partly, I would say. You know what I mean? I would say partly. When I was on it and put a lot together. And I think if I had grasped the full understanding of the types of people that I needed around, or maybe not even so much just the types of people, because I've still got some good people around me. I've had good people around, I've still got some good people, but it's about understanding what the actual moves that need to be made are, or the people that you need to connect with. Do you get me? And at that time as well, I was a bit like, sometimes I might be in a room or in a situation where I might have a conversation with somebody and they might say something that I don't like, or just move in a certain type of way that I don't like, and then I'll just fuck it off because
Right, emotions get in the way.
yeah, definitely pride will get in the way. You know what I'm saying? Emotions will get in the way. Like it's either like who you talking to, like, or
Okay, so now you're older. How do
Yeah.
you deal with that?
Now that I'm older, I feel like now that I'm older, I think more than just me being older is the understanding of certain things. It's like the emotions definitely don't need to come into play.
So you put the combination of say less, control your emotions.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And it's kind of like, well, especially if you're trying to do something, it's like, what's the purpose, what's the goal, and how you're going to achieve it, and take everything else out of it. It can't be everything else, because I'm definitely not about to do certain things just because, you know what I mean? But within reason, don't take things personal is probably the best way to say it. It's like, don't take nothing personal. It's like, but move towards where it is that you're trying to do.
So I find most people that get into music because they've got a lot they need to say, because they've been through experiences. But at the same time, there's a lot of people that haven't. They just like to pretend they have, you know? And then you can kind of tell who they are and whatever. But you're one of those people, you've had your experiences, you've put it all in the music and everything.
Yeah.
Do you think you talking about some of the things in your music about the road life, the street thing and whatever, in any way scared people off from wanting to deal with you?
I mean, I don't. Some people might say that, but then at the same time, there's other people out there that talk the type of things that I talk, and they
Yeah,
still
but
do.
they've got the industry behind them. You
Yeah, they
haven't.
do. They
It's
do.
different
They
when you've
do.
got the industry paying people
Yeah.
to open doors.
Yeah.
You didn't have that.
No.
Now that you're older, would you have in any way changed your lyrics and been a different type of artist back then? Or are you happy with everything that you've done?
I don't know. It's a bit, but that's a good question. I think maybe earlier I could have maybe done a bit more to show versatility at those points, but at the same time, even though I may not have shown as broad as my versatility really is, I definitely still did. Like I said, you get me, in terms of just dealing with real issues rather than just dealing with street shit. So would I go back and change, or would I? I can't say that I would. I think it would more be, the changes would be in the approach, in terms of, like you said, in it having the team who know what we're supposed to do and who we supposed to connect with, and what dots to connect and all of that, because that's what would have made the difference, really. You get what I'm saying? There's a bunch of MCs out there that can't rap nowhere near as good as me.
Yes. And you know what? I can verify that. That's probably a really good point for us to talk about a certain situation that happened. I remember, I don't know if you remember this, but you sent me a link to something that you'd done. I believe it was called Pen Game or something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
And I remember I was upstairs in the living room with my son,
Yeah.
and I was listening to it, and I said to my son, he must have been like 16, 17 at the time or something like that. And I remember saying to him, listen to this guy. He's one of my friends. Like, we do CDs for him, and, you know, and we just listened and went, oh, shit, fucking hell. And then we listened to some of the other people that were in that little, I think it was a competition of some sort going on.
Yeah.
And Bro, all I can say is you murdered everybody.
Respect, my brother.
Yeah.
Respect, bro.
So first of all, how did that come about? And just what was your feelings when you were doing that? Because it was a whole different level to everything. It was, for me, it was a no-brainer. You should have got that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just so we're clear, when I did listen to your thing, I also went and listened to a whole bunch of other people that were in it. Yeah. So I was checking the levels. And your thing was just like some other level. So
I appreciate
no,
it
all
still.
good.
But yeah, that was Pen Game was, there's an MC called Margs, you get me, from Mashtown, yeah. And he was doing his thing active as well, like more active than even to say I've been. Like he was, you know what I mean? But he basically had a Pen Game tune that came out before. Like I can't remember how long before, but a while before. So this was like his tune, Pen Game 2, he put it out. And then he also done a challenge. That was at a time when there was a whole lot of challenges going on social media and Instagram and that. So he put out this Pen Game challenge to put the instrumental online. Morpheus produced it. And everybody jumped because the beat's fucking fire, you get
Yeah,
me?
you're sick.
You know what I mean? So, the challenge was going around. And at that point, most of them challenges that were going on, I was jumping on them anyway on the gram. So,
Well, just so you know, bro, when I listened to that, I was like kind of tempted. Should I do one?
you
Then I
felt
heard
like
your thing and I went, fuck that. I'm off.
yeah. But that was basically what that was. So, I took the beat like everybody else who jumped on it did. But I remember writing that. I remember where I was sitting with a round white table in front.
Oh, it's one of those moon landing
Listen, man,
moments.
I remember writing that. I remember like, and I can't lie, even as I was writing it, certain parts that I was writing, I was like, jeez, like, gassed. And then I think it was either the same day or the next day, because everything was fast then, like, with that challenge thing, because there was so many was going on. So I think either the same night or I think it was the following day, went studio, recorded it. Then the next day, done the video. I didn't even know the lyrics all fully when I done the video, you get what I'm saying? But managed to pull it off, got the video done, and then boom. But yeah, like you're saying, a lot of people definitely gave me props for that. A lot of people was reposting it. Like, you got to pay for people to do this. The people that you're supposed to pay, they were just posting it. It was going all over the place, you get me? I put on my own YouTube channel, and the numbers did quite good, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, a lot of people kind of, whoever maybe didn't know me before, that a lot of people definitely got to know me from that. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's how that shit came around still.
Where did you get? How far did you get with that?
In terms of how far did I get, again, I don't know really what to say. Like, other than maybe however many more people being aware of who I am and knowing that, yeah, I'm sick with it. I can't really tell you nothing else. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a challenge. Like, so many other people did it. So again, it was on a lot of different platforms, a lot of different people's Insta pages, and a lot of people posting it. Some people, when they were giving like their top threes or their top fives, I was in a few of those. You get what I'm saying? Circulating around. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it definitely got my name around. You get what I'm saying? Like, it definitely got my name around out there. Like, a lot of people were screaming the same thing you are, that, yeah, what, the best one, it's the best one, it's the best one, I don't care, rare. But other than that, like, what, I don't know what to tell you.
The kind of bars that you were spitting and everything, I could easily imagine you as being a battle rapper as well. Did you ever get into that field?
You know what? There was a time when I could definitely battle, but that's because I could freestyle off the top of my head as if I had written it.
Can you do that now still?
I can still freestyle, but I kind of got to really get in the groove before it will flow in such a way that you would be like, you must have written that. But back then it was like, you must have written that. Or the only reason you know I didn't write it is because I'd be saying shit like,
Okay.
do you get what I'm trying to say?
So do a freestyle now
I knew
about
you was
Mola.
gonna do that, man. I'm not doing no Mola freestyle, man.
Do a Mola
Tell Mola
freestyle.
to pay me. Look, I'll Mola chill drinks, yeah, CBD thing, you get me? But if you want me to do a rap for you and that, holler at Blade, give me a check and we can get that going. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But yeah, the freestyle thing. So yeah, there was times when I was battling, or I've done battles, but that kind of period, to be honest, like, I don't remember much about having any like major battles. I think I used to more enjoy watching them. Like, I would go and watch the battles, and then kind of maybe, I know there's definitely been a few events, maybe I was outside. I might more be in a cypher, and that back then, them times there, I might have jumped in a cypher or something, or had some one-off battles or things like that. But it was never anything like, I want to be a battle rapper. Especially, like, I used to go, so I used to, things like battle scars and that, you get me? I will go watch the battles, but when people would always be like, go and do it, go and do it. If I maybe even got to a point of, all right, maybe I'm going to go and do it, it turned silly. Like you just said, it was like, it became more about
Your mom
man
this.
cussing your mom. Yeah. Some man cussing your mom, or telling you your trainers are beat up, and or whatever, more than real lyrical skills and getting into it. You know what I'm saying, on a mad lyrical level. So I never really engaged, like, but I used to enjoy getting to watch them. Like, my remembrance of any kind of like battle raps wasn't about, you know what I mean, your mum, or I fucked your girl, even though I didn't, but I'm just saying it in the rap because it sounds embarrassing. Do you get what I'm trying to say? All that type of stuff. Like, I remember a time when it was literally like, you still be going at each other, but in a way that lyrically was just different to I'm cussing you. And even if maybe there was like, yeah, I'm dissing you or whatever, like the disses were just more creative than your mum this or your mum that. You get what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't want to be stuck on that. Like, that's all the battle rappers ever said. But it just turned corny for me. I'd go and watch battle rap. Some people were just shit anyway. You get what I'm saying? And some people were like, they're winning because they're being a bit they're being comical, innit? So they were winning over crowds by being comical. So fair enough to them, you get me? But for me, it was like, that's just not my style of rap. It's not something I wanted to get into.
There was a point where artists started realizing that the record labels ain't going to do this for us. We ain't got distribution. We need to do this. We need to do that. And then you were one of those people that basically started going, right, I'm going to put the money into what I do. No one else is really doing this for me. I got to do it for me. Then you had the break. There was a point where I was seeing a bunch of videos coming out.
Yeah.
Then there was a point straight after that where it all died a death.
Yeah.
You disappeared.
Yeah.
You were nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
Your phone numbers were cut off. Couldn't even message you to say, yo, how you doing, bro? So now you're back. Are you back permanent?
I'm back. Listen, I'm back with I'm back with how can I put it, like, I've definitely got a catalogue of things to run with. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And because of how my past has been, I don't want to step forward that way, seeing how, you know what I'm saying?
Because look at the message you're leaving with the public. It's like, it's a bit unreliable, isn't it?
It is, though. It is. And that's why I'm like, you know what? All I can say is that moving forward, like, after this Gold Flowers things drops, and I've got a lot of music that I'm coming with. Do you get what I'm saying? And so...
And again, you're investing in yourself.
I'm investing in myself 100%, you get me? And so I can only kind of hope that I do enough to let people know that the consistency is for real, innit? They see enough of a consistency from me, and just, jump on and support and enjoy the music.
What's the chances of a collaboration with Bionic?
Oh, that's very, 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 very high.
Okay. Because, people will be anticipating
Well,
that.
that's very, 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 very high. It's not even very high. It's a sure thing. You know what I mean? Something that we should have done. We've spoke about doing for a while, but at this point, like I'm saying, with all the things that I've got going on, the things that I've been working on, and what I'm working towards, that's definitely gonna happen.
When that happens, is there going to be anything with Tricky?
I mean, that's not for me. I couldn't tell you.
But you could make that happen, right?
I know he could. I mean, he definitely could. You know what I mean? But that ain't something really. That ain't something we've discussed. I can say that. You know what I mean? You're a fan of Tricky, yeah?
When I was a hip hop artist, I didn't like anything. Like, it was just that competition thing in me. I just thought everyone was rubbish and I was good. But the reality was I didn't think anything was rubbish. I thought everybody was good to a thing, but I didn't want to admit it because I'm trying to protect my
Right.
thing. Do you get what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then I walked away from being an artist, and my ears opened up in a different way. My mind opened up in a different way.
Yeah.
And now I just look at things like, I don't even look at things that they're shit anymore. It's just what I'm into and what I'm not into. Because of the way I grew up with music, I found like anything that was blatantly marketed, and it wasn't about how good someone is. It's about what they look like. And do you get what I'm saying? There was a marketing thing. There was a machine behind it. And that to me, being the rebellious kind of person that I was just anti-establishment. I was anti-everything, and I was anti-music industry marketing. Like, don't sell me all this stuff. I know what I like. I don't need you to shove it down my throat.
But funny thing to what you mentioned, the thing about me is, if someone's good, they're good. Like, I've never been shy to say it or admit it, whether to myself or out in the open. Like, if someone's good, they're good. Like, if I like your music, then I like your music. That's why I'm saying, like, even with the whole UK scene, yeah, when I first started rapping in the early, like, not a lot of people was rapping. Or maybe I just didn't know where they was at and they was rapping, because it wasn't something you could hear everybody doing in the early stages, you get me? But when I started hearing people pop up and that, there's a lot of people that I thought were shit. But the people that I thought were good, I'd openly say it. You get what I'm saying? But I know a lot of people are the opposite. And funny, you were honest enough to say that.
So you now reside in Ghana.
Yeah.
Why the move? I mean, you're building your music career in the UK. You've spent all that time in the UK. Are you not feeling like you're starting again by going to Ghana?
Not really. I don't really feel like I'm starting. I mean, especially with the internet at our hands and all of that. You get me? In this day and age, I don't think it matters that much, unless when it comes to you want to tour, or you got to do live shows, or you've got a runway, you got to be doing interviews and them type of things there. But if it's like the music, you're putting out the music, you're shooting videos, you're putting up your videos, you're putting your content on your social medias and all that. I don't think it matters where you are in the world. You get what I'm saying? Like, so I didn't feel like I'm starting all over again. But it's just that in some moments there might be, there'd be like, someone might, when people didn't know I was in Ghana, it's like they might holler at me because they want me to do a show or whatever, and it's like, right, I'm not about in it. You get what I'm saying? That's the only kind of thing, is that when you're not about and something's going on, and you might miss out. But overall, in general, nah, I just think you can be anywhere. And as long as you're active and you're doing what you're doing and you're connecting your dots where you need to connect them, whether it's because you're in a new place, so you're gonna grow, being in Ghana and tapping in and connecting with artists over there, and then now getting to know DJs and what, like, TV stations and wherever the live shows might be at and things like that. That's kind of like now creating a new network. So yeah, for that, like, yeah. But in terms of London or UK or wherever people know, man, I don't see it as a starting again thing. It's more like, because if I was here or if I was over there, the same thing with the whole stop start, it would be the same anyway. But it would, so when I'm coming back now, or if to say coming back, but being more active now, is the same sort of principle. It's just that I'm sitting in Ghana instead of sitting in shitty England.
Why shitty England?
Because England's shitty, man. You get what I'm saying? Like, and the weather, amongst other things. I ain't saying nothing much about the people and that, but just the place, this UK place, yeah, there's a lot going on, man. It's different. It's a different type of living. You get me? All whatever's aside, it's a different type of living. You get me? I'm happy in Ghana, so.
What's the change that brought the happiness along? Because you
Ah,
sound like you wasn't really happy in the UK.
yeah. I mean, there was a lot kind of going on. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot going on in my life at the time, when it goes back to the street thing amongst a few other things. You get what I'm saying? Just on some real life level as well. But I wanted to move to Ghana a lot earlier than when I did. I was ready to go to Ghana from as far back as maybe 2015, 16. You get what I'm saying? But certain things were blocking me. You know what I mean? I had certain, for certain reasons, it wasn't the option. You know what I mean? It was blocked. And then I kind of like going through life and things happening and everything that what was going on, it was like deep down I wanted to go Ghana, innit? Deep down is where I was like I didn't really want to be in London anymore anyway, or at least back and forth enough and spending enough time over there. And then because, like I said, whatever, because I had that little blockages going on and I wasn't able to just go, it kind of got to a point where it was like, now I have to go because it was eating me up, innit? Like I knew I didn't want to be here, and then so much was happening whilst I was here, feeling like I didn't want to be here. It was like I just needed to get out. You know what I mean? And Ghana as well, like with the whole reason I wanted to go to Ghana anyway, other than knowing that it's home and every time I land there I feel like I'm just at home since I was a kid going back and forth to Ghana. Like the opportunities over there are just crazy. There's a lot going on. You know what I mean? A lot of people will know that you go to Ghana, a lot is popping. There's a lot of opportunities, development, all sorts. You know what I'm saying? So it's a better position for me to be over there and do certain things than I feel like for me to be here.
Where the music is concerned, and you being an artist, you said opportunities.
Yeah.
Do you feel like people are more willing to give in Ghana than they are in the UK? Like work together, build?
I think it seems that way from my experience so far of being over there. Do you know what I'm saying? And one thing I'll say about over there is that people also tend to be very supportive.
Okay, I'm moving to Ghana, guys. That's it. I'm done.
Yeah, people definitely, especially like if this for me going over there when they hear my music, yeah, they just can't believe that honestly that like everyone I show my music out there in whatever kind of situation it is, and I'm showing them, they just they're a bit like they kind of like their heads blown, like they don't understand why
You haven't
I'm an
blown yet.
underground artist. Yeah,
Yeah, you
they
haven't
don't
blown
they
yet.
actually don't get
So,
it.
yeah,
Like,
everyone's got their own agendas.
you get what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say? And nobody really cares. Like I think like yeah, cool. Like I'm talented out like and I'm better than most and this, that and the third. But you see, like that ain't enough for whoever might be wherever to say, yeah, I wanna do something with my man. You gotta really, like you said, the machine's gotta be behind you. You gotta be seen as you're like up here somewhere, yeah, and then
A few
someone,
handshakes.
yeah, and all of that. You get what I'm saying? And some people be bending over in other places, and we ain't doing all of that. You get me? So it's like you can't always just be like, yeah, because someone sounds good musically or whatever. That yeah, that means everyone's gonna work with them or someone's gonna want to work with them. It just don't even go like that.
You said I'm better than most. Do you not think that's potentially part of the problem? That you people
Oh
don't want
yeah,
someone who's
sometimes.
better than them.
Oh, sometimes definitely. You get me? Because I've been around people who have said, "Yeah, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that." Like, you get what I'm saying? And but they don't really want to do it. And it,
Because their careers end, in it.
but I don't even see it that way. You got to think like, look how much artists are really out here. Like, look how much artists are really out here doing what they're doing. Like, I don't think that because someone is good over there, it means that the person over there can't still do his thing.
I'm fully with you on that. Like all I'm saying is, as an artist, you nurture yourself and you build a certain level of confidence, and then it doesn't matter who steps on that stage with you, whether they're better than you, worse than you. You're never worried about your position because you know your levels, you know your standard. You know, but some people don't get that.
But and at the end of the day, I feel like I mean, in some cases, there's definitely better or worse, but most of the time, it's preference. You get what I'm saying? You might like someone, and I might like someone else more. I might think the person you like is shit, and you think the person I like is shit. That's your preference.
Is there anything that you want to say? Anything else that you want to promote? Have you got like a website, merchandise,
I got a
anything that you want
website.
to?
You know what I mean? DesertEagleMusic.com. I'm sure we'll figure out the edit and get it. It's gonna be here.
Yeah, yeah.
DesertEagleMusic.com. You get what I'm saying?
It'll be in the description.
It'll be in the description, yeah. So DesertEagleMusic.com, Instagram, Desert Eagle Music. What else? TikTok. Gold Flowers, obviously, look out for it, or if it's already out, go and listen if you ain't heard it already. And then, yeah, man, just look out for all the music that's gonna follow.
And this time he's sticking with
I'm
it.
sticking with it. I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with it. I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm
Yeah,
with it.
bro, you have to, man, because like, you know, there was a point when I felt like, yo, you're making the right moves now, and then like I said, it just went
Then
quiet
it just went quiet. Yeah.
again.
Listen, man. Sometimes dealing with life, you get me.
Are you sure that at some point you're not gonna like look at Ghana and just go, right, I've been here too long,
And
can't
go
stand
somewhere
it.
else.
Yeah.
Who knows? Because Ghana has its flaws too, you know. Nah, I think like I'm due to stay based there. You know what I'm saying? Because
And
like I
Bionic's there
said,
as well, so
yeah, Bionic's there
you
as
know
well.
you link up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ah, wicked.
All the time.
Yeah, obviously tell him I said what's up.
I'll do that. I'll do that. You get me? But yeah, Ghana's home, man. I got a lot of work going on over there and things that you know what I'm saying, foundations I'm building and all these type of things. So.
Actually, do you want to mention a couple of the businesses you're in as well, just before we finish off?
Boy, you know, I got this. I've run an Airbnb. Looking to do a couple more. So I'll have a drink on the market soon over there. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like a frozen rum punch type of thing that I got going on, and so look out for Tropical Ash. And you know, I run a school with my parents over there as well, and yeah, I think that's all. I don't. There's a few other things going on, but I won't go into everything. You get what I'm saying? But
Yeah, we just want to paint a picture that you're mad busy.
the work is going on, man.
Yeah,
You
that's
get what I'm
good.
saying? But especially like, you know, music is at the front at the moment. As much as all that is going on in the background, music is what's going on, and expect to see and hear a lot of music from me. You know what I mean, in the near future, and to keep it moving like that.
All right, guys, so you've heard it right here. For any updates that you want on Desert Eagle, make sure you go and follow him on all of his social media pages. If you're in Ghana with the Airbnb stuff and you want somewhere to stay, then obviously hit him up as well. And look out for his drink. Aside from that, thanks again for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, click the bell to receive the notifications, like, share, and get involved in the comment section below. Also, make sure you check out the description below for all of Desert Eagle's information. And go follow him on his YouTube as well. All right, thank you very much, and we'll see you soon. Bro, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me, brother.
Always, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, doors open whenever.
Yeah, man.
All right,
Respect, bro.
Wicked.
Appreciate you.